All right, hello. It looks like I'm doing these by myself, or trying to create these on my own again. I don't know. We'll see if this stays more of a certain, like always, situation. Anyways, here we have solving systems of equations by the substitution method. The big question I want you to understand out of this is, why is this method called the substitution method? So, kind of think about that, and that I think would hopefully clue you in as to how you solve. And again, remember, this is one of those, as long as you're practicing those steps, it should be easier to solve. Okay, so what we want to make sure, what I want you to make sure is, with this method, you will substitute one equation into another to find one variable answer. So that's the big thing, is that you're putting one equation into another equation. So that's why, again, why it is what it is. So let's look at what we have here for our first example. Alright, so here I have an example that says 2x plus y equals 5 and y equals x minus 4. So again, the idea with substitution is that I'm looking for the variable that is all by itself. And if you look at the second equation, y is all by itself. So I'm going to take what y is equal to, x minus 4, and I am going to put it into the first equation in place of the y. So that you would have something that looks like this. 2x plus, and now instead of the y, I am going to put x minus 4. Now notice here how I put the parentheses around that, just so that you know I'm putting this whole thing in place of the x minus 4. Okay, so that's why I put that there. Equals 5. Now, I don't really need the parentheses here, because obviously there's nothing to multiply. There's nothing outside the parentheses, like right here in front, to multiply, so I don't really need that. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the parentheses. Okay, 2x plus 1x. Notice, now this is where we come back to. This is something, let me erase this arrow now, because I don't need that. This is something that you've seen before. This is like what we used to do first 6 weeks. So that we're saying here, what's the first step to solving? Okay, first step to solving is to combine like terms. So 2x plus 1x is 3x. Combining the like terms. Minus 4 equals 5. Okay, what's the next step? What's the opposite of a minus 4? Plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9, so we have 3x equals 9. Then you can divide by 3, and x is equal to 3. Okay, now, how do I find the y? The easiest thing to do, okay, I could put this 3 back into either equation, but in all honesty, if you look at the one that had the letter all by itself, the variable all by itself, this one, all you normally have to do is something like some quick arithmetic. Put the 3 in place of the x and say, okay, y is equal to 3 minus 4. Well, what's 3 minus 4? 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and you're done. So this one is really easy to find the second answer. I mean, you might have to go through, say, some steps here for the first answer. The second answer is usually fairly easy. But again, the main idea, from here on, this is stuff we did the first 6 weeks. And y'all need to make sure y'all understand that. If not, come see me so I can actually give you maybe some tutoring tips on that, or even show you where to go on Khan Academy to practice so you can learn it, because that's really what's important here. You know, if you're not doing the extra practice, you're not going to get this. You're not going to be better. Okay, and that's what it takes. It takes practice. Let's look at the next example. Okay, in this example, I am saying x is equal to 2y minus 4, and x plus 8y equals 16. So notice here, the x is by itself, so I'm going to put in its place, or I'm going to put the 2y minus 4 in place of the x on the other equation. So again, we identify which equation has a variable all by its little lonesome, then we put what it is equal to in place of that variable in the other equation. So notice here, I am putting literally one equation into another. So instead of the x, I'm putting 2y minus 4 plus the 8y equals 16. Now again, this is what you should know how to do. You combine like terms. 8 plus 2 is 10y. Now let's think opposites. What's the opposite of a minus 4? The opposite of a minus 4 is plus 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 divided by 10 is 2. Okay, so y is equal to 2. Now, again, I could take this y, put it back, that 2, put it back in place of that y on the very first equation, on the top equation, because it was x equals that. So all I got to do is say, well, what's 2 times 2 minus 4? Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So x is equal to 0. So here my answer is 0, 2, because again, x should always be the first number and y should always be the second number. Okay, my next example, y is equal to 2x plus 8, 3x plus 2y equals 9. Now I'm putting this example just to give you a little bit different taste, because if you look here, yes, the y is all by itself, and I'm going to put that 2x plus 8 in place of that y. But you notice there's this 2 on the outside. You're going to have to make sure that stays there. So watch what I do. 3x plus 2 parentheses equals 9. So that parentheses represents the y. And what am I going to put in place of the y? 2x plus 8. Now, here we have, like again, what we did first 6 weeks. What do you do with this 2 to the numbers inside? And we should do what is called distributive property. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 8 is 16. Equals 9. Then I can go ahead and combine like terms. Opposite of a plus is going to be some minus, so I'm going to subtract 16. And then finally I can divide. So from there you can see all I've done is try to make sure I've gone through the normal steps of solving an equation to get my answer. Now I'm going to put this negative 1 in place of the x and say y is equal to 2 times negative 1 plus 8, and then say y is equal to negative 2 plus 8, which is 6. And there's my answer. Okay, so again, all I've done is try to say substitute into one equation, one variable, and then do steps to say like distribute, combine like terms, add or subtract, multiply or divide. Last example. Okay, so this last example, again, I'm trying to make sure you see this. We've got y equals x minus 2, 5x minus 2y equals 13. And again, I'm saying y equals, so I'm going to go ahead and put the x minus 2 in place of the y. 5x minus 2 parentheses x minus 2, close it, equals 13. Then distribute. But again, be careful here. You're going to distribute by negative 2. So you're going to say negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Equals 13. And then I can combine my x's. Then I can subtract. And then I can divide. And again, I'm subtracting because the opposite of a plus is a minus. And again, your last step should be like dividing. Put that 3 in place of the x, and you're saying 3 minus 2. Y is equal to 1. And there you go, 3, 1. All right, so that's solving by substitution. And again, you should have these notes, and you should understand what to do. So you need to be able to like go back. When I give you an assignment, I understand if I have to answer your questions, but you should know what to do on the first step. You can't tell me, I don't understand anything. Then you haven't bothered with these notes. You just blindly took them. You need to be listening. You need to say, do this. Now, I'm going to give, say, let's do this for a little code word. If you write at the end of your notes, and do not share this with anybody else. Let's say you write Christmas time. Yeah, we'll go with that, Christmas time. Then I know you've listened to these notes, and you didn't just let somebody copy them. Okay? Do not write these notes do not write Christmas time until I'm coming around to check. So if you do let somebody copy these, then they won't know that. And that helps me. I'm not going to count off on their grades, but it lets me know because I need to know. And you are not really helping your friends when you just let them copy and they don't listen. Okay? Try to help yourselves. All right? Thank you very much, and I will see you when I see you.